Good afternoon, everyone.
Good
Thank you
afternoon.
so much for attending today's Empower to Engage afternoon tea session. My name is Lola Adeyi, and I'm the liaison officer and project coordinator for this project. Firstly, I want to say thank you all so much for taking time out to just sit down at your respective homes with your cup of coffee, biscuits, and snacks of your choice to attend today's session. For today, we have a guest speaker that will be coming in, and she's going to be talking to us about a very important topic. And I want us to feel free to ask her questions. And please, when she's talking as well, if you can put yourself on mute, and if you want to ask any questions, you can either raise your hand via the sign there, or you can send messages through the chat. And at the end, there's going to be time for questions and answer. And as I used to say, if there's any way that you want us to improve on the Empower to Engage afternoon tea, please do not hesitate to contact us. Our details are there. I'm going to pass over now to Dorothy, who is going to do a bit of housekeeping before we welcome our guest speaker, Sabrina, when she comes in. Thank you.
Okay. So everyone, can I see a lovely smile, please? A lovely, lovely smile. Smile to each other. Smile to each other.
Hello.
Oh,
Hello.
oh, and every time I see guess what? Every time I see a particular person, I think of me time. Who's that person? Anybody know who that person is?
Sister Kath.
Who?
I don't know.
Who do you think? Who do you think? Well,
You.
No, there's a particular person on here that say, Dorothy, you've got to have me time. Who's that person?
Sister Norma.
Norma.
No.
No, that's
No.
me.
No.
That's me.
Norma.
No.
No, it's Olga. Olga.
No.
It's Lola.
No.
Cynthia.
Cynthia?
No.
Sister Wayne.
No.
Sister Lurleen.
No.
Yourself?
No. I'll tell you. That one there, her name is Elaine Green. I didn't even know her properly. And she goes, Dorothy, me time. She'll text me, me time. Okay, there's another one that says, Dorothy, you've got to rest. You just got to leave it. Send it to me and I will finish it. Who is that?
Sister Lorna.
Who?
Lola.
Sister Lorna.
Lola, no. Lola. Yeah, they got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, guess what? And there's another one. She always boils soup and bring for me.
Ooh.
That's my Sister Norma.
No.
Auntie.
No. Who would you say, Sister Beth?
Miss Lorelai?
Lurley. Yes. 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 Okay. So there's another one now that says, Dorothy, I'm not putting up with this foolishness. No. Not with the.
That's Sister Beverly.
Oh dear. Okay. All right. But it's nice to see you all. And it is just by God's grace that I'm here today. And I'm glad to have our guests with us here also, Mother Norma and Mother Cynthia, because all the time they can't get on Zoom. So I told them, come up to my house. And they came and they're here today. And I thought that's really nice that they come. And it's a good job was the day I boiled porridge. Okay, so we're waiting. Sabrina's coming on soon. Did anyone hear her video?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who didn't hear the video? You all heard the video. Okay,
Yeah.
starting one by one, and Lola will take notes. Starting with Elaine, what's your expectation of today?
To find out a lot more about nutrition.
That's right,
and,
dieting.
Something to aid me throughout autumn. Thank you.
Right, thank you. Can I, Olga, Sister Olga?
Oh, but more about dieting. What is good for you? Yeah.
What is
And
that?
nutrition. Yeah.
Okay, so do you think cornmeal porridge will come into it?
Yes.
Of
Yes.
course. Yes.
With coconut milk?
Yes.
No milk. No milk.
But
No
coconut
milk.
milk. Coconut
No,
milk.
go to have the
No,
coconut
not
milk.
condensed. Not
And
condensed.
No
yeah,
condensed.
that too, and the Nestle's milk.
No.
No.
Okay, Sister Bev, my lovely Bev, what's your expectation for today?
I'm looking forward to hearing everything.
You learn forward to hear everything.
Good.
Okay, Mother Weir, can you unmute, please? The two lovely Weirs. Let's have the one from Gloucester first. Let me tell you, we were doing a session, and seriously, these two didn't know. They've always come and supported us from Ditto. And we asked Mother Weir to pray, and then one of them goes, which one? Because both of them is Weir. So the one from Gloucester, raise your hand, the one from Gloucester. She says, by the way, is where you come from. And seriously, you know when them start? This place in Jamaica, she called her husband. She even pulled on her husband, but I've got the video clip to prove it. The session was no longer in Power for Engage. It was a reunion because they found out that the husbands were related and they didn't know. And what was more nice is that both of them are elders in the church. So let's give them a round of applause. Right? So even this session has brought individuals together, which is very, very good. And we'll have a session just on that because if we ask you now, it's going to take the whole session. So, so Mother Weir, not Veronica, the other Mother Weir, what's your expectation from Sabrina today, the session? What do you expect?
Diet.
Diet.
Dieting.
Okay. All
That's
right.
my problem.
Diet, all right. Veronica Weir, I see you have the biscuit in your mouth. I mean, we talked about diet, but I have my cornmeal porridge. And guess what? Don't let Sabrina know.
It's such a fake news.
You cannot let Sabrina know. Okay. Mother Veronica Weir, what you expecting today?
Well, I've got an open mind actually, because I mean, I've seen so many things going around with what we need. So we want, let us hear it from the horse's mouth.
Okay, well done. And board member Elaine, Lurleen, what's your expectation?
To hear about nutrition.
Okay, thank you. And I'm going to ask Mother Cynthia, what's your expectation today?
But I'd like to know a little bit more about dieting. What is the best way to diet?
Best way to diet. And Mother Norma, eating her porridge, what's your expectation?
The best way how to cook cornmeal porridge.
Okay, have I asked everyone? Because I don't want to get in trouble now. Have I asked everyone? Okay, I'm going to hand right back now. Thank you all very much for your cooperation. I'm going to hand right back to Lola now. Thank you very much, Lola. Back to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Dorothy, for that icebreaker. And now I'm going to just go straight to the point to introduce and welcome our guest speaker for today's Empower to Engage afternoon tea that is taking place on the 12th of October 2020.
Sorry.
And she's going to tell us a bit about herself, and she's going to dive right into today's session. Her name is Sabrina. I don't pronounce it wrong, but I think it's Sabrina Amonfa, but she's going to say it properly. So please, can we all just give a warm welcome to Sabrina, please? Sabrina, over to you.
Welcome, Sabrina. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm absolutely honored to be here today with you guys on this Monday afternoon, which if it's anything like mine here in Wales, it's not so nice and sunny like it has been, but it's still nice nonetheless. So my name's Sabrina, and I live in Wales, South Wales, near Swansea, and I've been here for about 3 years now. and I typically work full-time in property. I used to work for the women's ministry for at least, I think it was about 1.5 years or 2 years or so, working very close with Dorothy, doing similar stuff to what Lola was doing now, or is doing now. And so I'm really honored just to be back and sharing my experiences with my healthy eating journey. Yeah, and hopefully you guys can learn something. I did note down everything that everyone wants to take away from today, so I'm going to be sure to answer all of those and make sure I've included it in the presentation. I do have a presentation, so can I share my screen and will you all be able to see it if I go ahead and share my screen?
Yeah, that's fine, Sabrina, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll share my screen now and then go to the presentation. Okay. Can you guys see my screen now?
Yes, yes.
Okay, great. So this presentation is literally called Choosing Health, and it's making the decision to be healthy, choose healthier options in terms of eating and lifestyle. And I'm hoping you guys can get that after watching today's presentation. So what you will learn today is what it means to choose healthy eating, and then the importance of eating a healthy and variety of different foods, and how to enjoy eating those foods. So not just options, but actually how you can enjoy eating those foods as well. And then I'm going to give you some examples of some delicious cultured food, as well as other things, but cultured food, which is one of the main reasons why we don't eat healthy, because we don't always have those options there. So I'm hoping you guys can really take away from that today. Okay. So the first thing I wanted to know is, what are your goals for today's presentation? What were you hoping to take away? But Dorothy has already covered all of that. And I believe from what I took away is you want to know how to eat healthy. You want to, the best way to diet. So if you are going to try and lose weight or diet, you want to know the best way to do those. How to cook healthier. And nutrition, just an idea about nutrition and I guess what it all entails. Is that right? Am I right in saying that? Did I manage to get everything down that you guys wanted to see? Can you guys hear me? I don't know. Are you guys able to hear me, or you're not too sure?
Yes, we've put ourselves on mute.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Sorry, I usually ask for a little bit of interaction, but that is fine. I could totally understand. But I guess in your comment section, type yes, or if not, that's okay.
Okay.
Hoping so. If I don't hear anything, then I'll assume I'm on the right track with that.
Well, keep asking us questions. I'm sure that we'll tap in and out.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that would be great. Tap in and out. And again, if you guys have questions as we go along, do let me know so I can ensure that I answer them. So there might be, I'm going to cover quite a bit today, and there might be a few, very specified questions you have. Just feel free to ask away. That's fine. So obviously a fun fact. Here's a fun fact. That did you know eating healthy, mainly in plants and in low in fat meats and foods, can extend your life expectancy by 14 years. And then for men, for those who have husbands and sons and cousins, it'll extend their life by 12 years for men. So that is, in itself amazing. And for myself, my mom, she's always fed me greens, beans, anything with anything, any type of color. And she's actually quite healthy, so I can see that it does work. But just so you know, if you are making that decision to eat healthily, that is a reason alone. That's a fantastic reason alone. Now, the question I usually ask is, why do you choose to eat healthy? What are your decisions around eating healthy? Is it because you have grandchildren and you want to live a longer life to see them grow up into their adult age, or see their children's children? Or is it because you want more physical strength and you just generally want to be stronger to help more around the house, or for various reasons? Why?
For my own self, so that I feel good in myself.
Oh, good. Yeah. And that's it. Mental health is a huge one, because you find generally when you're mentally, or when you eat foods, your health is just mentally much more vigorous. Your memory is exceeded. It's much longer. And that's because of the nutrients and the vitamins that you're taking in. Are there any other reasons other than what you can see here as to why you want to eat healthy? What's your reason why?
Feel good factor. It makes you feel better within yourself.
Yeah, definitely. It does. It definitely does. And those are primarily reasons why. Now, the reason I ask this question is because we tend to want to eat healthy, and in the midst of doing it, it can get lost. So when you wake up to a Monday morning like it is here, raining outside, it's cloudy, you just want to eat the closest thing that's available in the kitchen. So eating healthy, you do have to remember why you're making that decision. You know, it's not unusual for people to put healthy things around their home, pictures of fruit. You know, if you lived in one of those Jamaican households, you'd always have a picture of fruits in the kitchen or something of the like, or the clock has you know, some fruits and vegetables on there with a nice saying in the background. But those are good prompts just to have around the house to remember the reason why you're making that decision. So, okay, so what does it mean to eat healthily? What does that actually mean? So eating healthy means eating a variety of delicious food that give you nutrients which you need to maintain your health, to feel good, and to have energy. And that was one of the main things you guys said, isn't it? To feel good, have a mental vigor. And most importantly, we eat to protect against diseases. And that for me is number one, especially if you have diseases that are, you know, hereditary in the family, those type of, you know, changing your eating habits that are different from what you've been taught from the grandmother to your mother and now to you, but changing those habits can extend your own life. So far, you guys enjoying this presentation? How's it going so far?
Yes.
Is it quite interesting?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
good. So here is a food map, and I know you guys have all seen this before, but this is the reason I choose this one, because there's not a huge amount of dairies. This is very selected vegetables, plants, fruits, and then you have the carbs, which of course that gives you energy, and then you have the other areas, which is protein. And our body is made up mainly of protein and water. So, you know, consuming those where you're replenishing your muscles, replenishing your cells to be healthy is fantastic for your body and your longevity. So this plate is here it is, and it's great. In terms of your liquid, you want to drink as much water as you can a day. That's just plain and simple. You can spruce it up with lemon. I don't know, is there any way that people spruce up their water that they could mention today that we all could learn from? I know lemon's definitely one of the popular ways. Is there any ways that you guys do so?
Yeah, lemon, ginger,
Lemon.
Yeah.
Lemon.
Yeah, lemon mainly. Okay. But then some people do, like, they put fruits in their water and leave it overnight, and then they drink that water the next day, and it's taken out some of the minerals and minerals and vitamins from that water, which is another way to kind of sneakily consume sneakily consume vitamins without really having to eat. But of course, herbal teas is another great way of consuming liquids, and you know, low-fat milks, something that's not too high in fats. Semi-skimmed is great, but I'll try and avoid full-fat milks. And then of course, avoid sugary drinks and fizzy drinks. So that's kind of, you know, that's a little bit going without saying there. So if I go back, but just to go back quickly, anyone who suffers with diabetes or anything like that, it's better if you do eat foods that are lower in fat, or foods that are rich in fat, but they're, you know, rich in the healthier fats. So there's different types of fats that we can consume. For example, you'd have fried chicken, and that would have, you know, much heavier fat that our body cannot digest that well. And you find it ends up swimming around in our blood, and that is what clogs up the arteries. So avoiding that type of fat and going for fat that's more found in avocado, which is very good for the body, and fat nuts, beans, that type of fat. So just substituting your fat intake from, say, fried chicken into having beans or something of the sort, or just having some nuts on an afternoon or something like that.
There's a question here.
Okay, I can't see the question, so please, if I do not see them, shout them out to me because I'm on the full screen.
Right, we're talking about chicken, but I mean, if you take the skin off from the chicken, is all right, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. And that's usually what you do, is take off the skin off from the chicken. But what I say in terms of fried chicken is the way how the chicken's prepared. So if you bake it and put it in the oven, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
But if you're frying the chicken, that chicken is absorbing a lot of the fat from the oil, and that's when it becomes
good.
What did you say, sorry?
She says still very good though, the taste.
Oh, yes.
What about some oils that they say that if you fry it, it doesn't absorb as much? There's certain...
Yeah, there are oils like olive oil. Olive oil is a good oil to fry in, but
But I thought they said we can't fry with olive oil.
That's what they
No,
said. Yeah.
not heavy. You know how you can get different types of olive oil?
Virgin olive oil.
Yeah, not the heavy. I mean, you can get the thick, but a virgin olive oil is good to fry. But personally, I wouldn't fry food at all. If you can avoid it altogether, I would not fry food at all. But if you want some olive oil or rapeseed oil as well, that's quite good to fry in.
Yes.
Sunflower oil, that's typical. People usually use that, and that's probably one of the main ones that people usually use because it's light. You want to fry in light oil, if that's.
What about coconut oil? Coconut oil?
Coconut oil, I'm not too sure about, if I'm honest. I have to double check.
What about sunflower oil?
Sunflower, yeah, definitely sunflower oil.
Because that's the one I use.
Is that what you sunflower oil, vegetable oil, those are
Or you could just air fry it.
Or you can air fry, yeah.
Just air fry.
Air fry is good.
Yeah, when you is more healthier, is more healthier options to air fry rather than fry. You still get the same crunchiness and all that, but at least it takes out all the fats and all that. So
yeah, that's fantastic. Actually, that's a good one. Thank you so much for mentioning because that's the word that makes it so much. Yeah. I mean,
sorry,
you'd have to. Yes, I was going to say you'd have to just purchase the air fryer for that. But once you have it, I mean, it's set for life, and you don't have to. You don't need anything in the air fryer. You literally just put the food in there, and that's about it. You don't use any oil in air fryers, do you?
No.
So I mean,
How healthy is that? How good is that?
It's very good because you can use it for a lot of things. So it's not just for frying, like you could just quickly, I use it for quite a few things, spring rolls, chips, chicken, like I use it for a lot of things and it saves time as well. So you can just put it in the air fryer, get to do all the things and then you're back and you set the timer. So it cooks it at a rate that, you know that it's going to be okay. So it's something to invest in. If you want to go the healthier option, it's something to invest in. And it's not expensive. You can get it for like £20.
Oh, that's good.
Or more. So yeah, Argos. Yeah.
That's called an air fryer.
Yeah, it's called an air fryer. Yeah.
I'll add that to my list.
Same here as well.
In you saying that, my daughter has purchased one recently and has been using it. And she has said to me, Mum, you need to get an air fryer. And things like, you're planting, she puts it in there.
Yeah.
And she says, excellent. Yeah. Minus the oil. Yeah.
Minus the oil. Yeah.
Yeah. She's obviously, big thumbs up. And I think she's had it probably a month now. And
I've had it for a year now.
yeah. She it's all she's praising it so much. So I might have to put it on my Christmas list.
I'll do the same.
Yeah, like the mackerel, if you put the mackerel in there, it cooks it nice. Your plantain in there, you know, it's just a way of trying to eat healthy. That's the thing.
Okay.
So any way to eat healthy, you eat it healthy. So yeah.
Do you have to add water to it?
No, nothing
At all.
Nothing at all. Yeah.
Okay, so can we get back to Sabrina now then, please?
Sorry.
Okay, no, it's very good to have, you know, share these ideas. I don't know everything, so, you know, please do, you know, come in and comment as you can when you can. Yeah, that's fantastic. I'll be sure to get one of those myself. I do not know but they are good. So for me, I'm all about eating island food that has been produced back home, whether it be in Africa or Jamaica, Asia, and eating those type of foods as much as possible because they are not mass produced as they are here. So foods that if you go into the supermarket, they're heavily altered and changed to be able to grow in the environment here. Those type of foods I try my best to stay away from. Now I live in Wales, so that is a challenge. So if you guys live somewhere where there may not be a market down the road for you to purchase that food from, that's still fine. But that's my option, and that's usually what I advise people to do if they can. So here I've created a list of substitutes that if you were to, you know, go to these shops and buy stuff, you can substitute your bananas for plantain. Now I make plantain cake like as you would banana cake, and the taste is quite different because it's obviously plantain, but you can still nonetheless. The bananas here are fine, of course, and you can always go for organic bananas, but it's just making that adjustment of consuming less food that is mass produced and more protein, you know, nutritious, mineral, vitamin foods that are, you know, very high in those type of things. Another thing is, you know, the sweet potatoes that you see in the supermarket, they're usually orange in color, whereas if you look at the African or Jamaican sweet potatoes, they're nice, they're white, they're fluffy, and they're much more sweeter to taste when you are eating your food. So it's just kind of going back home and choosing those options where you can. And of course, if you're eating healthy, you won't be eating a lot of this type of food because your portion sizes will be reasonable. They say that our stomach is the same size as our fist, sorry. So it's almost like a guide. I mean, obviously, you know, some people's are small, some bigger or smaller, but there is a guide. So when you're eating food and, you know, putting your portion sizes on there, keep in mind that is the original size of your tummy, your stomach. That type of thing. Say that again. Oh. So farmed salmon. A lot of the salmon that you see today in the supermarket, if not all of it, is farmed. And there was a documentary about the farmed salmon and how much fat that they have, how much additional more fat, and how much they lack in nutrients. So salmon's very rich in oils, but you won't get that from the salmon because it's farmed, and the food, the pellets that they use to feed the salmon, they consume that, and therefore the salmon, something about it not operating to its optimum, like how you'd get wild salmon if you looked at the two, put them side by side. One is very red, healthy, hardly any fat on it, and the other one's very white. It's got it's very pink, very pale pink, with a texture around it. And then we consume that, and of course there's not much nutrition to it. So just keeping that in mind, and then substituting it for cod, which cod is just as rich in omegas, same as mackerel. Mackerel is extremely rich in omegas. And bassa, which I recently discovered about 1.5 years ago, which tastes just like cod. And they're all caught in the sea, and they are full of nutrition. And those you can get in the supermarket. So you can get, and if you look at any mackerel, typically it is caught by hook and trail. Only some that you get are, you know, they have been processed or farmed. But generally, those fishes I find all the time are not. So they're great substitutes to have. Then you have the shop spinach, the supermarket spinach, and it's those small little leaves with a little stem on them, and they're quite rubbery and thick. And you find that the amount you have to eat of one of those, the amount of bags you've got to eat to get the original content, the original nutritious content that you'd get from farmed spinach, it was like 5 bags to 1 bag of spinach. So the amount you have to consume is so much more in order to get that same content. So what I do is just go back to the farms and purchase their spinach. There are a lot of those, the Asian shops that you see in Croydon or just down the market, they sell those type of spinaches that are farmed naturally. So that's a good way just to, keep your content high in vitamin and nutrition. The avocados in the shop, again, if you see those are quite mass produced. They're small, they're hard, and then a lot of them you ripen at home. And even when they're ripe, they're always nutritious and tasty. I mean, there's a lot of avocado I've had to throw away even when they're ripe because they taste like nothing. So if they taste like nothing, it's very likely there is nothing in them. So what I do is I purchase Jamaican avocado. And again, if you do purchase the 2, one day actually purchase the 2, and you'll see that there's a lot more water in Jamaican avocado. There's a lot more moisture, it's a lot more softer, firm on the skin, but very soft, and then it tastes delicious. It actually tastes like avocado. So again, that's a reason to just stay with food that you can naturally purchase from the markets down the road. And then white potatoes, which is carbs, and I do not eat those at all. I substitute them for yam and cassava. And again, yam and cassava, they tend to be fluffy depending on how you're preparing it. I like to steam mine, and they're very, very fluffy, very tasty. And it goes well with the type of food that I make, which I have some examples coming up. But those, again, they're much better options than supermarket purchased food. So if you can, and you do live near a market like this one here on the bottom left-hand side, then try to purchase from there. Another reason, is that these type of foods, the Caribbean foods and the foods from Asia and from back home in Africa, they are free from pesticides, herbicides, and they're also not, they're not genetically modified, which is why they genetically modified to mass produce. So those their type of foods are generally much more nutritious anyway. Whereas the ones in the supermarket, you do have to consume overall a lot more of those type of foods to get the same nutritional value, which is why they have a lot of substitutes and supplements nowadays for you to eat to supplement the food that you're losing, the nutrition that you're losing. So that is quite interesting. So is that food that you guys think you would be eating or purchasing? Is that along the lines of what you eat already? Spinach, avocado, yam, sweet potato, fish, chicken?
Yes.
Fish.
That's what already, yeah.
It is a lot of what you eat. Yeah. And could you see yourself going to those markets and purchasing this type of food rather than supermarket? Although
we went until towards the evening time. Just another room.
So say that again, sorry?
Talking about healthy food.
Oh, yes. Okay. So did you say you have to wait until the evening time to go and do your shopping? Okay, so it might be a little bit more challenging to go at these times during the day when they're open.
Is it raining?
Yes, I see what you mean. I mean, hopefully, if there's someone who can help you get these foods, because I do find they don't. The only difference is, the only downfall, if I would say there is a downfall, is that they don't last as long as the supermarket ones. So you can buy a bag of carrots in the supermarket and they last for a very long time. Whereas if you get this Jamaican avocado, it will go off in about 3 to 4 days. So it is a lot more trips to the supermarket. But hopefully, I mean, as you get healthier, because eating this food will generally make you healthier, your energy rises and you can do these things, or ask family to help out as well.
I find it very interesting, and thank you for mentioning it, about the factor of, even as you said, the shop spinach to the, you know, the farmed spinach and things like that, that, you know, there is more, well, probably pesticides and things to keep it, well, to preserve it, rather than, you know, like if you was to buy it from, as you said, the market, or, you know, like sometimes people have like the organically grown veg markets and things like that.
Yeah,
Oh, that's really handy in you saying so, and even linked to the farmed fish.
Yeah, yeah. The farmed fish is quite a big one, because I mean, I eat majority fish. I don't eat that much meat. I try and avoid all red together, which I'll tap on and touch on a little bit shortly. But yeah, because I eat so much fish, I always want to consume the best fish that I can, because I try not to consume supplements as well, although I do, but I try not to. And the best way to do that is just to go for healthy eating food, you know, the healthiest type of food that you can find. Another thing is it is a little bit more costly as well, because, you know, you're out and about, you're just spending a lot more time around your food, but it really is worth it in the long run. And that's the benefit about it. It really is. You find that it's things where you had aches before, they're not aching as much, because again, because you're eating healthy and then you've got the healthier mindset, you're looking a bit more after your body. And generally you find that aches and pains that I get, or that you may get, they will just not be there as prominent as they are. So, you know, healthy eating. And again, the body heals itself. You know, it's its own machine. It can heal itself. So when the injury is there, if you've got the most highest of nutrition in your blood system, it's likely that it's going to operate a lot more effectively. So it's just kind of overall. Now here's a direct comparison of the two. Okay, the supermarket to how where I would like you to shop is looking, you know, the difference in the two. And generally your fruits or your vegetables will look like that as well. So on the left, you've got the supermarket, everything's neatly laid out perfectly. Even if you look at the vegetables themselves, they're all pretty much exactly the same type of size, colors, and so forth. Whereas on your right-hand side, you know, the food is a little bit uneven. If you look closely at it, it is a little bit uneven, but this is the food where the nutrition is. This is the food where, you know, you get the highest value content from your food. So, you know, this I mean, it's a bit like a no-brainer, really. Higher energy, you know, it comes all with it. But you know, would you guys choose genetically modified or organically grown? That's the question.
Organic. Organic grown, yes.
And even if you, I mean, the food that we have back home, they don't call it organic, but what it is organic food. You know, that is organically grown and shipped in straight from the island. So why not? Now here we are going to look at some cooking preparation methods. And I know that this is someone who mentioned that earlier, that they want to understand the best way to prepare their food and store as much nutrients inside of it. So I've done a lot of research, and these are the way I prepare my food, and you'll see some examples shortly. But I've collected 3 ways that you can cook your food and keep the nutrition content inside that food. And the first way is steamed vegetables. I mean, one thing I should add on there now is the air fryer. Now I know about the air fryer. Have an eye out for air frying as well. But steam method is definitely one of the most ways that I cook most of my food. And it locks in nutrients. It locks nutrients a lot more. The more you expose your food to heat, the more reduced vitamin and mineral is in that food. So obviously you would cook food anyway, but the longer it's exposed, the more nutritional value it loses. So steaming, it's not directly on fire, and it's keeping a lot of its content there. Another method is grilled, and that's quite a popular one in our community, grilling. Grilling is, we do barbecues, we do it at home, it's definitely a social activity. I'm not sure if you agree, but it definitely is a social activity. But the reason why this method is very good is because the meat that you cook, when you put it on the fire, if you had something underneath, you would see that a lot of the fat that's on that meat is actually, it melts away. You'd find that if you had something underneath it, it would collect a lot of the oil, a lot of the fat that's in the food. So when you're grilling food, you are reducing the fat content in your food, which is fantastic. Because the fat in red meats particularly, it is not healthy for our bodies at all. So we want to avoid that type of stuff. Can you guys still see my screen? Mine seems to have disappeared. Oh, there you go.
Yes, yes.
So yeah, you want to avoid, not avoid, sorry, you want to grill your food is a fantastic way, again, to reduce the fat content in there. And then fish, of course, you've got some grilled fish, and some fatty fishes, I mean, they're fine to grill. I like to collect the fat that comes from my fish, to be honest. So I usually leave it in itself because that's healthy fat anyway, and that's fine. And then you have baked. And baking is another good way to cook your food. A lot of time, if you're baking it in a dish, the fat would melt away and we tend to kind of smother it all back over the meat again. A good thing to do is actually throw away that fat if you can. So if you eat a lot of lamb or goat, if you cook goat, I'm sure you'll see a lot of meat comes, not a lot of meat, sorry, a lot of fat comes away from the goat when you're preparing it, but and then we tend to kind of smother it all back over it again. But something to do is just throw that away and just keep the real meat that's left over and eat that. And that's a lot more leaner, a lot lean meat, which is very much healthy for our bodies, our muscles, the protein, even for our hair, our skin. Anything that's made of protein, it's feeding that type of stuff. So I mean, a good question is, do any of you already cook like this already? Would this be a huge change?
Do.
Yes.
I do a lot of steaming, baking and grilling. I don't fry.
Oh, good. What kind of stuff do you steam? Is it meat and vegetables?
I steam all my vegetables, even potatoes I steam as well.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah. And do you find there's a difference in taste?
Yes, a different taste, yes.
Yeah. It tastes, yeah, it tastes delicious. It actually tastes really nice. That's what I find. Yeah, it tastes actually lovely. Okay, so next are some meals that have been prepared using those methods. So it'd be using baking, it's using steaming, and it's using bacon, steaming, and I forgot the last one now. Bacon. There you go. Thank you. All this food I actually haven't eaten yet. I'm fasting. I do intermittent fasting where I don't eat for 12 hours, and this food just threw me off a little bit. So this is predominantly greens. I'd always try to have a lot more on my plate, but you'll look, so the top left, you see a nice purple sweet potato. That's from Uganda. I got that from the market. There's a market local to me in Swansea here, and they sell food from everywhere. I mean, Asia, India, everywhere. So I always try different things, and I thought I'd try this one. And it was delicious, and I steamed it. So I always find that steaming is a safe way to try new foods and, you know, keep the nutrition inside, and that was delicious. Then here's some baked chicken with a little bit of this is some stew that I took out from my partner who had cooked some food, and I didn't want to have the stew. I just wanted to have a little bit, so I took that out and put that on the side. And if you like stew or, you know, curry goat and those type of foods, they're still fantastic to consume, but I tend to have them in smaller portions and avoid the area where there's oil, because, you know, you can have oil that kind of lays at the top a little bit. I try and just scoop from underneath and get it like that. Here there's some, you know, fish that's been grilled in the oven alongside some greens and steamed plantain. So those of you who do want to know what steamed plantain look like, once you've steamed it, this is how it comes out.
Yes.
And here, yeah. And I've also got some steamed yam. No, that's sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes. Yam. And then some salmon and avocado. I can hear the clock ticking, so I'm going to hurry up just a little bit. There's some okra here. And there's a lot of vegetables that are good to eat raw as well. So if you like hummus, you can get some carrots and dip them in hummus and have that as a snack on the side, and that will fill you up between meals. Having different options to fill you up rather than going for a whole meal if you don't want those. But I tend to eat my okra raw with a bit of hummus. Then of course we've got here and some purple cabbage. And then again, I've done another section of food, and here I've got some grilled fish and some spinach and onions. Now in this spinach, I cook my spinach without any oil or anything. Spinach cooks so quickly. So I literally chop up the onions and the garlic and put that in with the spinach at the same time. And you have a little crunch to the onion, but it's very nice. It's very tasty. You get to have the taste. Here I've got some green banana and some plantains steamed, and similar chicken steamed with some wild rice. Now, if you like carbs, it's always good to try lots of different types of carbs like chickpeas, beans, different types of rices. You can get so many different types, bulgur rice and wild rice. I've got red rice here, brown rice, yes, but not the easy cooked brown rice. I try and avoid that. Always make
takes
sure
a long
whole
time. Yes.
Yeah, it does. You're right. But always making sure it does say wholemeal rice as well, because I've seen the brown rice, easy cooked brown rice, but it's actually not wholemeal. It's just bleached, not bleached. It's just dyed. It's not actually. So making sure you're looking at those ingredients on the packs where you can. And then here, this is some Nigerian stew that my partner cooked with some steamed yam, and I naughtily did fry some yam in this one. But that's another meal option here. Again, if you are going to eat fried, just minimizing it. Obviously you can't avoid it, but everything is in proportion. Just eating sensibly, not overdoing it. Now here's a substitute for meals. So someone mentioned about dieting. If you're going to diet, how you diet. So as well as eating healthy and choosing those healthier options, you can substitute your meals for a juice or a smoothie or a light snack like the okra and the hummus. Or what I do is when I blend my vegetables, all that pulp that I get, it feels like such a waste to throw it away. So I recently started putting some onion in there, putting some garlic in, seasoning up that pulp that's left over from juicing, and shaping it into a burger. And if you leave it in the fridge and take it out, it's actually quite hard. And I don't know if anyone knows about gari, but it's found in Africa, and it's somewhat like a hard flour. It's like it's made from cornmeal, and it's not made from cornmeal. I think it's made from cassava. Sorry, and it is cassava, isn't it? Yes. You pack that around the burger, bake it.
We call it farina.
Yes, also about curry. Yes, if you bake that, it's absolutely delicious and very light. Very light. Now here, I've got it in a burger, and this is not a picture. This is a picture from online that represented the one that I made. And I tend not to consume too much bread, because I don't know about you guys, it does make me funny. My tummy acts a bit funny sometimes, so I avoid bread. But I just consume it on its own with a nice little dip, and it's quite nice. So it's delicious, and it's a way to use. From when you do blend your vegetable juice for dinner that same evening, you can have a burger or meatballs.
That's a really good idea. Yeah.
Sabrina,
yes?
that gari that you said, they call it something else different. What do you call it? We call it farine.
Farine. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Same cassava, but they call them different name.
Okay, and it's prepared the same, the dried little small little pebbles, isn't it? Not pebbles, very tiny.
Yeah.
Smaller than that. Oh, fantastic. So they have that. Is that in Jamaica? Is that from Jamaica it's known?
No.
You're upset her now. She's upset. Say where you're from.
Where are you from?
This cassava is
around the four corners of the world.
Yes.
They call it different name. Same cassava, we call him Gary, we call him Farid.
And where you from?
Where are you from?
And I'm from a little island named St. Vincent in the Grenadines, the West Indies.
Okay.
Oh, West Indies, St. Vincent. Okay. It's good to know because I didn't know it was prepared in the West Indies. So thank you for sharing that. Thank you very much. But yeah, the main thing is if you do want to diet and you want to choose healthier options, you can substitute breakfast and start off with a smoothie or start your day off with a vegetable juice. It is filling. You will get hungry soon. So you can then have something small like a fruit, a banana, and a little bit of nuts. Or if you like dates, those are delicious. If you want to just kind of boost your sugar intake as well, dates are a fantastic substitute for any sweet or sugary food that you may have consumed. But yeah, I tend to substitute my meals for a drink like this, and it's, I mean, highly nutritious. So you're going to get the same, highly nutritious and get the same type of mineral intake. So that's really good. Now, the main thing is you consume minerals for your body to digest. It's gone from my head now. You consume minerals for your body to digest vitamins. So the two work very hand in hand. You know, you don't want to consume too much vitamins without consuming any minerals. So it's always good to have a healthy balance between fruit and veg and going for those fats and so forth like that, fats and carbs. So you're getting a full round intake of your nutrition. So the main thing really for your day is to be focusing on these 4 elements here, or for your week as you go throughout your week, is trying to move the body more. So not just eating healthy, but exercising. And even if it's just walking up and down stairs, or if you're on the chair, you know, moving. I don't know if you guys can see me here, but you know, just doing exercises from left to right in your chair. If you're not able to walk up and down stairs, but just starting off really small. But the main thing is to move the body, the blood circulating around the body. If you're not moving, it kind of stays, you know, static in its position. Although blood obviously does move around, but it's staying static. So you want the blood to be flowing through the muscles, through your bodies, through your organs. And in order to do that, you've got to get the heart rate up and exercise. But of course, you speak to your doctor first about any form of exercise. That's definitely a good way for that vitamin and the minerals that you're taking in to get around the body. As well as that, you're increasing your oxygen intake as well, which again, it produces, it allows the blood to flow around the body, bringing oxygen to different areas within the body. Second is, of course, healthy, nutritious foods. Drink your water. And I know that's such a huge mindset change, drinking water. It can be bland, but then it's just being creative, finding a way to be creative and remembering your reason why you're being healthy in the first place. And that's really core. I mean, sometimes when I'm going through my days where I'm not healthy and I look in the mirror and I think to myself, oh, you know, I should have spent the last week eating healthy. What happened? Because you can see the differences. Whether you're feeling tired or whether, you know, you're feeling a bit lethargic, you can feel the difference and see the difference. So remembering the reason why you're doing this is key for all of this. And last but least is, where you are not able to have high nutritious food, is just having vitamins and supplements to add the additional elements into your body so that you can, you know, get as much vitamin and mineral intake as you can. So, did you guys find that interesting?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
You did find it interesting. That's good. I mean, we've come to the end. We've come to the end of the presentation. That's me. For those who obviously you saw pictures of me already, and that's me. But we have come to the end of the presentation, and you know, I'm hoping that you guys got a lot of value and learned some new different types of food that are high in nutrition than, say, supermarket foods that you can focus on purchasing and extending your life by those 14 years. Did anyone have any questions or anything, or is there anything you feel like you can share to the presentation that we?
I've got Norma here. Miss Norma wants to ask a question.
About keeping healthy with these greens and so. If you have an allotment, you can plant your cabbage, your carrots, you name it.
Yeah.
That's true.
Wherever you want.
Or use your back garden.
Yeah. If you don't have no cats.
Okay, so she's talking about allotment, and then we got Mother Weir from Gloucester.
Yeah, my husband in the summer he does the back garden because we got a big back garden, and I freeze a lot of my vegetables.
Thank you very much, Mom. That's a good idea.
I freeze a lot of it.
Yeah, me too. I got my spud.
Yes.
Can you freeze spots?
Are you kidding?
No, I never freeze spots.
Yes.
Can.
Yes.
You can speak. Yes, freeze
Yeah.
spots.
You cannot freeze. You can freeze just. I freeze my okras, everything.
Yeah. Everything I do as well.
Yeah, but spots, potato, you freeze that, yeah?
Yes.
Wouldn't it go rubbery?
Chips.
Okay,
Chips are frozen.
let's direct the questions back to Sabrina.
No, thank you so much for sharing that. It's funny because I was going to ask, now that the weather's changed, what can you grow on an allotment during this time of year, or do you not grow anything at all?
Nothing at all. Just prepare it for spring.
Yeah. You just need to go and turn the earth over if you can.
Yes.
And you just start to prepare it. So when the spring comes, you start planting now again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's fantastic. So that's even better for those of you who can't get to the allotment. Then not get to the market. Then you use your foods from the allotment. You're your own farmer, which is, I mean, you can't get any better than that.
My farm is at the bottom of my garden.
That's it. My allotment is outside in the trunk.
Mine as well. In the sink.
Okay, so
we know where to go when we're all short of food then.
Yeah. So Sabrina, moving from food, what about, can you ask them about exercise?
Yes, of course. So exercise now, which is, they say it's very good to exercise at least 3 days a week, if you can. And you can start off small. I mean, you can do 10 minutes and slowly progress up to 15. And you know, with exercise, you've got to make it your own, and you've got to make it enjoyable for yourself.
Like going up the stairs?
Yeah, like going up the stairs. Anything that increases your heart rate. Honestly, going up the stairs. As long as you're bending, moving, shaking, something. And if you have some good music, there you go, you're ready to get them started. If you have some good music, you can play that in the background. And you find just even dancing around your front room, you can play your music for 30 minutes or 50 minutes and just dance around your front room. And then you'll be getting your exercise. And that's what I tell my 12-year-old son to do, because he doesn't like to exercise, and trying to motivate him is such a challenge. So I just put his music on, and the next thing I know, I see him dancing, shaking, doing everything all over the floor. So motivating yourself in a way that works for you. But yeah, 3 times, just trying, if you start off with, once a week for 15 minutes and then slowly progress. But it's, just keeping the momentum going, that's the core thing.
We do have someone here on the Zoom that she never used to do exercise, and now she's doing a lot. She goes walking with someone else. Does anybody know, to have a guess who that person could be?
I know. Who's that?
Who is it?
Hello.
I'm hiding.
She goes and does walking with this other person. Sometimes the other person's ahead of her, but she does catch up. Who do you think it is? The person's smiling. Have a look at your screen. Who do you think it is?
Is it? No.
Lurleen.
Lurleen, yes. Lurleen, tell us about your walk, about your exercise.
We do like run Melford. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. We go around the park at Melford Road, and we do 5 miles a day? We do 4 laps. So it's 1 mile, I think. What is it? Yeah, 1 mile. So we do 4 miles Monday to Friday.
Well done.
Well, at the moment, and I've been doing that for a while, over a year now. Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
It's a big effort. If I didn't have order to keep dragging me out, I wouldn't go. But it's a motivativeness to do it. When you start doing it, you really it's hard, but after you've done it a few times, it's quite easy. Yeah. And we did start it with a women's ministry. Remember, Dorothy, we did it when I think you were away at Birmingham, and quite a few of us ladies went around Lloyd's Park. You remember? Yeah. So maybe we can do that again when the weather is better.
Do we have to wait for the weather to be better?
No.
We have to go down the stairs regardless, out the bed regardless. So I think that, we could meet. I tell you what, let's do a distance from Mother Wearing Thornton Heath to the other Mother Wearing in Gloucester. That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
You see, having a body really helps, isn't it? An exercise body really does help.
Yes, it does. It does help. Yeah, it does help.
Okay. So, any other questions for Sabrina?
Yes. Where you get the air fryer from?
She'll send us a link and I'll send it. She's on the group, so she'll send a link to all of us.
Yes.
Lola.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Yes.
Okay. So if all of you send it with an extra £5, then I'll be able to get one free, right?
Where you get from?
Oh, what we could do for the fundraising, we could go do walking around the blocks.
Okay, I'll put you down for that, Annette. I'll talk to you about that later on.
Look what happened to that Sir Tom.
Sir Tom, that's
and the other one.
Yes.
They got the OBE and the MBE. Oh, we could do that.
Okay, well done. Okay, so Lola, I don't know where Lola is, but I'm going to ask, just one thing that you're going to take away from this session, from Sabrina's session today. One thing you're going to take away. Let's start with Mother Wearing Thornton Heath.
Why you start on me first?
Because you're the first one in my screen.
Oh, I'm just interested in the vegetable, about the difference between the farm and the mass production vegetable.
Okay, well.
Because I tend to mainly buy my vegetable in supermarket, but lately I've been buying a lot of stuff from our Jamaican shop that's open in Thornton Heath, and I mainly can get most of what I want from them. My yam, everything.
So we've been more aware of the difference between farm and the manufacturer.
Yeah.
And even though the farm will be a bit more expensive, but at the end of the day, it's going to do us much better.
Of course.
Yeah. Okay, Norma, what are you going to take away from this session? Same thing. Okay, Miss Cynthia, what are you going to take away?
I tried to get one of the air fryer to fry for my son.
Sabrina, can I ask, was your intention for them to buy air fryers?
I made that comment actually. But no.
For my son.
All right, Miss Bev, what are you going to take away?
Air fryer.
What are you going to take away? Elaine, what are you going to take away?
Oh, do you know what? I'm going to take away the key factor about the supermarket stuff.
Yeah.
Because, can you believe it? From Corona, I've stopped buying my fruit in the supermarket on the basis of, you know, the stall holders were without cash within Corona. So now you've actually given me another, you know, thing to think.
That's where the same vegetable come from.
Yeah. But, you know, minus all the pesticides, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay. Mother Weir from Gloucester, thank you.
Just what she said there. But before you cook your vegetables, I always put salt and leave them to soak. So
Same here.
You know, that when I drain it out, anything that was in it is gone. Anyway, what I take away, I've never steamed yam. I've never steamed yam. So I learned something today.
Wonderful.
And I'm going to try it. I've never steamed yam.
Wonderful. Okay. Annette, what are you going to take away?
The healthy eating.
Okay.
Because I've just done the 21-day Daniel fast. And it was vegan. And I've got my vegan recipe book. So I'll still eat meat, but I'll do mostly vegan recipes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for that. Lernie, what are you going to take away?
I'm going to take away that I would prefer to buy like the proper avocado pear, because I'm always buying the one from the supermarket, and also the spinach. So I will definitely buy that one. Now, I mean, I know you'll pay an extra £1, but at least it's going to help you. You're buying the one in the supermarket. It's not doing you no good. So you're better off buying the proper one. And I eat a lot of spinach. So now I know that spinach is not very good. Even if you put the sauce and that on it, it's still no good. So I will buy the one that is good for you. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You know,
Olga?
Sister Val, you know what would be good?
Yes.
If we had a farmer's market nearby.
Yes, that would be good.
You know, there is one.
Where?
My cousin, I don't know where it is. I'll find out and let you guys know. Because my cousin, she goes there every week.
Okay, so you can put that on the group. Thank you.
Okay.
And Olga?
I eat my color load that's grown at the allotment.
Yeah, exactly.
Cabbage, and all those, my potatoes. So I am into healthy eating because of my IBS. I've got to be so careful. I don't eat meat. I don't eat the farm fish, as you said, the wild salmon. There's a different taste and the coloring as well.
Yeah. And we're going to ask Althea to say what she thought as well. Here she is.
What Sabrina was saying is correct, because I grew up in a family that plants a lot of things, and when you taste the difference between home plant food and what you purchase outside, it's totally different. So it's what she's saying.
I will take my seat now. So that is it. So I'm going to ask Lernie now to give Sabrina a vote of thanks, please, on behalf of this empowering to engage project after tea.
Okay. Well, first of all, I say thank you to all the ladies who have joined us today. And I know that they have learned quite a lot. Yeah. And also a big thank you to Sabrina. Can we all say a big thank you to her? And, you know, you've educated us a lot about different healthy diets and all that. And also, you know, for us to go back to the West Indian shop and get the proper homegrown stuff. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Whose home are we going first to? But thank you very much. Okay, I'm going to give you exactly, but promise you won't go away, exactly 3 minutes to do what you want to do and come back and get ready to do your air exercise. Bottle of water, okay?
Sorry.
If you go away and don't come back, it's a charge of £5. And if you talk to me and back chat, it's an extra £5. So do what you have to do.
First of all, I've just done my 10,000 steps and I'm very tired. I gotta go.
Oh, 10,000. Okay, we'll talk to you about that after as well. Yes.
Right.
Great. Okay. In the meantime, I'm going to find this thing and show you if I can. Let me see if I can. And tell me what you recognize from this. This was done in about 2005, I think.
I'm going to have to leave you. Pick up my little one from school now.
Well,
thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. I can send it. I'll send it to you, Sabrine. Do you know, guys, the logo, the ministry logo, I don't know if you've ever seen it. I'm trying to get it. It's actually Sabrina that's on that logo, and she was the one that designed it with the hands. And it's so when you see our logo again, the Ministry of Empowerment, it's her face. So that's how long she's been with us, from 2005 to today. We can call on her and ask her to deliver such a wonderful session. So thank you very much, Sabrina, and love to your son and everyone else. All right, thank you. Let's go say
thank you. Bye.
Bye. Until next time.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.